Namaskar, Acharya ji. I have a question which relates to the youth of today, to us. So, we are now comfortable with public display of affection. It is, in a sense, our expression of freedom for the other. We're in a relationship, so we have nothing to hide. But there is a certain resistance against it. So it's being looked down upon. However, I feel that it is something that we have evolved towards. It's more freedom. So why is there still resistance towards it?
So public display of affection, right? Let's come to the central word first of all, affection. Is this that is being displayed, or most of the times prevented from being displayed, really affection? If it is really pure affection, which is love, then its display in public can have no harmful effect upon the public. Those who attack public display of affection, PDA, they say that by doing these things in public, you are setting a harmful, corrupting example towards those who are watching these things. That's their argument. Now the fact is that if the relationship is really based on solid fundamentals, if the relationship really has some depth, genuine sincerity, then that relationship will only set a beautiful and life-giving example in front of all and everyone who comes across it or watches its display. So it's not really public display of love that is harmful. It cannot be harmful. Love cannot be harmful to anybody. If love is really pure, that's the catch. So the question is not really the public display part of it. When we say PDA, PD is not so much of a problem. That A is what needs to be questioned. You see, affection and love are different things. If you go into books of wisdom, if you hear the words of those who have understood life and the world, they will tell you that affections are a problem. Love is the solution and affection is a problem. Affection is almost an affliction, a disease. Are you getting it? So what is it that you are demonstrating in front of the public? If you are demonstrating pure love, then pure love knows its own way. It's like a pure stream. It knows how to flow, where to flow, and which ocean to reach. So if the individuals concerned are really in a relationship of pure love, then obviously, first of all, they have all the freedom to do as they please. Secondly, even if the society wants to stop them, it cannot, because pure love cannot be stopped. Right? So public display is a secondary issue. First of all, we must discuss the quality of relationship among these individuals who choose to often demonstrate loudly in public. And when I say demonstration, that brings me to another issue. There are a lot of couples who are so reticent, almost ashamed about their relationship, that they never even hold hands in public. The PDA stuff that you are talking of is more of a metropolitan phenomena. If you go to the general towns, normal cities and small towns and villages, it is still a norm that even married couples do not even hold hands in public. Now, that is equally problematic. There again you have to question the nature of relationship. If your relationship is of pure love, why have you made the society so important that your mutual conduct towards each other is being dictated by the presence or absence of others around you? I am not advocating that all married couples should hug in public or kiss in public or do all those things. What I am talking of is the quality of relationship. What is the quality of relationship between a husband and wife if the husband looks around 10 times before even hugging her? What kind of love is this that is so scared? Please get me straight. I am neither advocating this side nor that side. I am trying to come to a more moot issue. I am getting it. We often say, as you said, that your generation wants to be more expressive, more open. And then there is the vast majority of those who say that by themselves they do not want to come out in open and be public about it. To both these sides, this question needs to be asked. What is it that makes you relate to the other? What is it that makes you relate to the other? If it is merely a relationship of convenience or bodily attraction, then obviously the message that you are sending to everybody who is watching you is not very beneficial. At the same time, if you are sure of who you are and therefore why you are relating to the other, then no power in the world can stop you. Your effect upon everybody will only be beneficial, and that is the thing about love, It benefits everyone, but that is not the thing about affection. When you say that you are in relationship with one particular person, you are attached to that person has become special to you, then it is only the interest of that one particular person that becomes supreme to you. You tend to neglect the interests of others. In love, that does not happen. Love has a beautiful mystical quality about it, in which the entire world benefits in direct or indirect ways from a loving person. So, if two real lovers are walking down a street, believe me, all residents would be benefited. Do not ask me how, it just happens. I said love has a mystical quality about it. It just happens.
How would one differentiate? Suppose I am somebody who is closed-minded in the sense towards any sense of affection being shown towards the other. How would I differentiate? How would I know that this?
So that's your responsibility. That's your responsibility, not towards the onlookers, but towards yourself. How do you afford to not to know? if you are alive and if you are in relationships, how do you afford to not to know who you are and why you are relating to the other? That obviously does not mean that somebody else gets the license to intercept you and regulate you and dominate you and tell you how to do your personal stuff. That obviously is out of the question. But then you do have a great individual responsibility to ask yourself, I am hugging and kissing this person in public, who exactly is he? What does he mean to me? And you should be doing this irrespective of whether somebody is objecting to your relationship or not. Right? You might be living in Europe or Australia or America where nobody objects to PDA. But still it is your own obligation towards yourself to ask yourself, who is this person I have allowed to enter my life? How has he become the center of my universe? How has he become so important to me that all the time I am found sticking to him? Who is he? That's the important question. And if you are right, the other one is right, and the reasons in the relationship are right, then whether you display it publicly or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you display it publicly, whether you don't display it publicly, it would be good for you and it would be good for everybody else.
But for those who are objecting, do they have any way of...
They have no authority. They have no authority. No authority. Nobody has any authority, especially those who themselves do not know who they are. Those who object are mostly objecting for so-called cultural reasons. These are pseudo-cultural reasons. They do not even know culture. Ask them to define culture, they would be clueless. So, they are out of the question. You see, when you say public display of affection, it includes both the sides, right? Display means a positive display as well as a hindered display. So, they too are PDA candidates.
Okay.
You are displaying your affection by hugging in public. And they are demonstrating their brand of affection by not even touching each other in public. That too is a particular type of display. Do you get it?
Yeah.
You are not displaying merely when you are hugging or kissing. You are also displaying when you refuse to even touch each other. That too is a particular quality of display. So, all kinds of display apart, come to the central point. Who are you and why are you being seen walking with the other? What is the other bringing to your life? What are you bringing to the other's life? Are you in a relationship that would really enhance each other? Or would the relationship actually degrade the two of you? Remember, if the relationship is such that it enhances the two of you, then it would also enhance the rest of the world.
Okay, this is a little bit of a tangent, but sometimes it is used in a revolting manner. Like, like you would display in public so that those who do not do it can also be, can also see that such things happen. So is that an all right way to...
It's a very adolescent way of revolting, So it has some value, but very minimal.
Acharya, this message, is it also going out to those who are the so-called torch bearers, cultural, moral guardians who know how to tell love from affection? Or is this only going out to the lovers on the streets?
No, obviously this message is for everyone. every individual has first and foremost the obligation to ask himself, why is he doing what he is doing? You see, let's say there is a couple, and they are indulging in very obvious and very loud acts of PDA. And then there are two people who are approaching these two in an aggressive manner with the intention of censoring them, stopping them, asking them to move away. Both the sides need to ask each other, what are we doing? These two need to ask each other, what is it that has so possessed us that we must do what we are doing right now? And those two who are branding themselves as guardians of culture or morality have an equal responsibility to ask themselves, what authority do we have to tell somebody to do or not do what he is doing? Both must be stopped in their internal tracks. Both are carrying a certain blind internal momentum, and both of them feel that they are justified in their own way. There is a 99% chance that neither side is really conscious of what it is doing and why it is doing.
Our last question on this topic, Acharya ji. Would you say that it is the misappropriation, the misrecognition of the spiritual idea of love by the so-called moral guardians that has motivated them to intervene between personal
Yes,
life?
obviously.
And would you not go to the extent of also acknowledging that this non-bodily conception of love is also playing a big role?
I'll come to both of these one by one. You see, spirituality has been substituted, and once it is substituted, it doesn't matter what is it that takes its place. In the case of the couples belonging to the more so-called advanced cities of the country, spirituality has been substituted by a brand of shallow liberalism. In the case of those who act as the moral police and cultural guardians, spirituality has been substituted by culturalism. Now, be it liberalism or culturalism of whatever kind, these are very poor substitutes to real understanding. When I say spirituality, I do not mean any kind of mumbo jumbo and all the nonsensical superstitious stuff. I am not talking of that. I am just talking of understanding, knowing, realization. So, this side without knowing thinks that it is just all right to do whatever one wants to do. What I want to do is supreme. This side has turned the ego as its master, right? That is what liberalism is commonly understood or misunderstood as, right? I have all the right to do as I please. So, I have all the right to do whatever I am doing without being introspective, without being meditative, without having the patience and the courage to go within myself, explore things, question my intentions and discover the truth. And that side thinks that it is already on the right side of religion, spirituality, morality, everything. That side has arrogated to itself all the righteousness. I am definitely the one in the right. And who are you? I can thrash you, I can smash you, I can throw you out of the park. Don't sit here, I know who I am. It becomes very difficult to decide which of these two sides is deeper in ignorance. Though if I have to pick the one who is more deeply ignorant, I would probably have to point towards that side. This side would at least be ready to listen. Listening is one of the qualities here, because they are prepared to discuss and debate. That other side is not even prepared to discuss and debate. They think they already know. They feel that their acts have been sanctioned by some supreme heavenly authority. They feel they have some kind of supernatural religious sanction to their acts. So, obviously, both of these are ignorant, and both these sides need education, real inner education.
Glad, Acharya, that you touched upon it towards the end, because I was about to ask, if given a choice, what would you choose? I mean, a slap on the street or a kiss on the street, because both sides are enacting these.
Neither. It's not about slapping somebody on the street, neither is it about just going around blindly kissing people on the street.
Not people, not the one you love, not the one that you are with.
No, why are you with the one you are with? I'm coming back to that question. So both these sides need education. It's just that one side is probably going to be a little more prepared to be educated. The other side will say, we are already educated. That's the situation.